everyone, and welcome to this week's podcast. We've got a huge surprise and treat for us this week in that we've got Alessandro Jacobone straight from Italy, live from Milan, coming to us. We'll first have a chat with Alessandro, a bit of a tell-all interview, get his opinions on what's going on in Milan at the moment, and his opinions on the team going forward. Then later on, we'll have a quick chat about the upcoming derby with Inter, obviously a huge game. But before we get into that, we'll speak to Alessandro, obviously Milan superstar, co-founder of Radio Rossonera. So yeah, how are you, Alessandro?
I'm okay. Thanks for the invitation, guys. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you. And even if it's Sunday, it's a morning, but it's always worth to wake up and to avoid to sleep, to speak to Rossoneri's fan, because I mean, we are 16,000 kilometers away, but I feel your Rossoneri heart beating so fast, and it's always a pleasure, because for me the fan base of supporters is the most important thing, is the real power of AC Milan.
Yeah, absolutely. We say that we're 16,000 kilometers away from Milan, but really our heart is in Milan still. So yeah.
Yeah, we can feel it.
Yeah, exactly. We wish we were in Milan, but yeah, we make the best of what we can. I guess starting off, Alessandro, if you can just kind of tell us a bit about your story, about Radio Rossonera and everything you've done over time. So yeah, if you can tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, of course. For the people that doesn't know me, and I'm Alessandro Jacobone. I'm class 1974. So I just got the time to see and to get into the Rossoneri's passion when Milan was in the second division. So that makes me proud, because when you become a supporter and you are in the second division, is like a flash, is a clash, when you meet the woman in the metro station, and you just with your eyes you understand it's the woman of your life, you know what I mean? That's what exactly happened to me. And good memories also about the way that AC Milan grew up in those years, because few days ago I got a like on the Twitter from Mark Atley that doesn't say anything to you probably, if not just the name, but it was one of the first idol that I had, one player with Wilkins, with Jordan, with other players that were getting out from the San Siro always with the mud on the face, with the t-shirt broken, and everything, because they were giving the blood for the skirt. So that's the most important thing when you are a AC Milan player. So I felt in love for that Milan. I saw all the Berlusconi winning everything. So I'm very lucky, because with my eyes I saw 5 Champions League, Coppa Campioni or Champions League, and so many trophies. And when I grew up, I decided with the social network to open a talk with the supporters. I start as a game, just to pass some time, and step by step I collect a huge community of people. Now are 70,000, around all the platform, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I open a YouTube channel right now, since a few months, and it's going well, because we are doing the live with the supporters as well. We put journalists and supporters on the same table, the virtual table, in order to get the supporter close to AC Milan world, because we need to share the passion, and there is nothing better than do with a digital approach that can permit to be close now, we are now in this moment, you are on the other side of the world, and we are talking about our common passion, and that's the most beautiful thing. as you said, like I co-found like Radio Rossonera, and the first web radio for Rossoneri's fan. I wrote so many articles for Milan News, other like blogs, other pages. I got interviews in international interviews, but the most important thing is like I'm part of an association that is part of AC Milan Stalker, and so like we are part of the what is going on around Milan. We can like give us impression, ideas, opinion, influence. So that's the most important thing for me, like to be proactive for the life of my team, because we can change like ownership, but no one else could understand and which are like the Rossoneri values, and we have to defend those like everywhere, from everywhere, especially in the Aldo Rossi office. So basically, this is the picture of my person. Like so, but if you have any other question, feel free to ask me whatever you want.
Well, yeah. Well, you're definitely kind of for us certainly, but I'm sure that most Milan fans across the world would say that Radio Rossonera and everything you do is kind of like the guiding light in many ways for Milan fans, and it's definitely a way for us really passionate supporters that maybe aren't in Milan to stay and feel like we're somewhat part of the club and to get news, and it's nice to feel, yeah, as I said, a part of it, because as you said, I think Milan, there's something special about it that even if ownership changes, as you said, I think that the club has this distinct soul to it that that for some reason lingers on, and it's always around, that can be felt through all of the supporters around the world. So it's definitely a nice, amazing thing that we have Radio Rossonera and everything you do to kind of keep that up and keep us in touch, and yeah, kind of shows us the way in Melbourne of maybe what we can do a little bit better to help reconnect those links to Milan and yeah, stay in touch with the team.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the reason about our projects, like my project right now. Like I as I told you, like we open like YouTube channel because with my community, Milanista Non Evoluto, I want to open a live. It started like as an idea during the lockdown for the coronavirus, and I mean, we were like feeling like kind of shocked because being locked in the room, no connection, bad news from outside. So we were all in a bad mood, you know. And so I wanted, like, I missed like AC Milan, I missed AC Milan fans. So I wanted to open a live called Replay. We call Replay because, like, I mean, we do the day after usually the match, and it started as a game, and now is a huge like meeting point for Rossoneri's fan, because I invite fans, and I would like to invite you like the next time, like into our live, and we share like with journalists. Today, this evening, we started with a new cooperation with the referee, so that gives us like the opinion. Is the first time that we put a referee into the table with the fan, like in order to explain also the other side of the, you know, the moon, to understand what is going on in the head of the referee, whatever. So all of these projects are like to make like our fans and our brothers like getting deeper like into the AC Milan world. That's the most important thing, like, because technologies help us like to get in contact, to make it deeper, like, you know, to merge like into the Rossoneri's world. And I have the privilege like to be here in Milan. I'm the privilege like to know people from AC Milan. I know the privilege to speak with some of the players, with the managers, with the journalists, with other people that goes around, works around AC Milan world. So why don't share all of this with other fans? I mean, it's a privilege. I'm like very lucky to be in this position, and I don't want to keep for myself. I want to share it, and that's the most important thing.
Do you think that the club, from your experience, AC Milan, has become a bit more willing to be a bit more transparent through people like you and with the media, that they'll explain what's going on a little bit more for fans?
But I mean, I like the approach of the new chief of the communication, and Pier Donato Vercellone, that had a great experience outside the soccer business, but in the big important like companies. But more than this, he has like an open-minded view that is improving a lot the connection between the team and the core target of them, you know, because we can call like as a marketing, like you know, with the marketing word, like core target is what AC Milan's to improve like even the money like that has to, you know, raise, like, because you know, for the fair play, the financial fair play, we needed to balance, like, you know, cost and gaining. So that's the thing, like we needed to use the passion of our fan, like and give them like the way to be part of AC Milan, even buying like original products, like you know the scarf that you have, like all the products that you can buy from AC Milan worldwide, like a website, or I mean, to create events, like to visit our fans when AC Milan travels, you know. Yeah. I hope like that this virus is gonna disappear soon, because what I miss more is like the connection between the team and the supporters, not just in the stadium, but also when you are getting closer to the players that they were getting out from the bus, and all the people, the supporters, especially the kids around the player, like asking the first, the signature, like on the skirt and everything. So all this kind of situation, like we miss, but AC Milan is like trying to cover this kind of connection with a digital approach. They have like a huge application that you can download on your smartphone to be you know, in touch and be updated. They are English speaking more and more. Like most of the Italian people is complaining. You say, "Well, all the tweets are in English," but it's a good, like, to improve our English as well. But you know, the thing is like that. The new wave of AC Milan communication is giving to fans a lot of new steps, like, for example, one of the new cooperation with the socios.com, and that is a company that sells like bitcoins and permits you like to buy the fan token of AC Milan fan token. I mean, basically, it's kind of you can buy credits in order to be active when AC Milan does like some questionnaire and ask opinions to supporters. So you get a privilege to be influenced to determine the future of some decision of AC Milan, or like to participate at some events like digital events or whatever, when it's gonna be permitted, like even real event. So many steps is a new way to approach, you know, and even to have incoming money that is always good to improve the quality of our players and all the future of our team. So I'm very positive about that.
Yeah, and I think in from what you've said, even in Melbourne, from my experience, can understand that, because I think even though Melbourne has a very big and strong Italian community, for some reason my generation of kind of people of Italian descent kind of lost that connection to the Italian league and clubs like AC Milan, because I think maybe like the English clubs or even some of the Spanish clubs did a bit better early on in communicating and getting in touch with us in Melbourne. And so a lot of my generation didn't immediately support clubs like AC Milan, but it's definitely starting to change, that people now, definitely in Melbourne, from what I've experienced, are starting to talk about Milan. And yeah, we love that it's a bit more transparent and we know what's going on and we feel like we're a little bit more a part of the club. So it's very exciting. But I guess moving on, I was speaking before this interview, Alessandro, and we have lots of big questions about Milan, and I was saying that who better to ask these big questions than Alessandro Jacobone, because I think you know all the answers to the big stuff that's going on in Milan right now. So I guess the biggest one for us Melburnians is whether you think that Milan's will ever come out to Melbourne and do a tour of Australia.
But I know that they are like planning to touch like different like continents that they didn't approach before. Unfortunately, the situation right now is complicated because, as you know, we needed to test the player every day in order to have them like able to play, because this virus is like touching even them. Of course, they are human and they think they get infected as well. But it's like we are still in some situation that it's hard to plan the future. But what I know is that they are willing like to come back to travel and to get real experience. So that's why this kind of connection, even there is a new cooperation that is for me that I'm called as I don't know if it's working in you say the same way in Melbourne, but here they call the people as me, that my generation, boomer. Boomer means like someone that is not like that new like is like so new from the technologies and all the way like to be like on the social network like TikTok or whatever. So I'm not like that practice of all of the new social network that are like burning like. But the thing is that there is Fortnite, that is a game that is very famous around the world. The people is getting crazy, I guess even sick about that, because I saw like on YouTube some players that they're like crazy about that, like staying hours and getting even rich with that, because I understood and I discovered that there is like a huge world around like Fortnite. And the new cooperation is that the Fortnite like Muppets, they're gonna be like wearing like the t-shirt, the colors of AC Milan. So this is like a smart way, because if you need to approach the new generation, you need to talk their language, you know. Otherwise, you look like the grandfather that gives you advice, and you know, it's boring, it's annoying, you know. It's saying, well, I mean, leave me alone, you know. I'm here with my PlayStation, leave me alone. So this is the way to communicate with the new generation in countries in the other side of the world that can have the first approach with the Rossoneri's word, understand what is going on around Rossoneri, get curious about that, and get like in a deeper like knowledge, like step by step, and understand that in the other side of the world there is like a small club, smaller like because we are small compared to the globe, but you know, a club with the two colors, black and red, that as a a huge value, and it's to be discovered even from kids that they are not like from Italy or from a Milan city, you know. So that's a good way like to explore new words, to explore new way of communication, like in order like to create a larger community, you know, and to have like the word like to go to visit them, and is happened like in Canada, is happened like in North America, is happened like everywhere, like Milan goes around, and I hope that is happening to Melbourne as well, even because Australia is a good place to visit, so I guess that is gonna be fine.
I think the best thing that Milan could do, Alessandro, is to fly you over to Melbourne, and the Milan Club Melbourne will host a fortnight event, and you can run it, and you can play on behalf of Milan. I'm sure that would convince everyone in Melbourne to become Milan supporters.
Yeah, I guess so, but I mean, it's gonna be. I don't know how in Australia the soccer is like considered, because I mean, when I was traveling, because I work in the fashion business, basically, like so years ago, I was flying like in US, and I started to see that they were like approaching to soccer, because I mean, you know, there is basketball, there is like hockey, there is like football, American football. So soccer was like behind all of those sports. But now it's getting like even you see there are like some players that they are like even getting so good level in order like to be transferred in Europe. So is improving. I don't know how is the situation in Australia about soccer, but I think that with the one tournée of a team as AC Milan or whatever, the biggest team like Real Madrid, Barcelona, could improve even the attraction that the sport could have like on the Australian kids, because the new generation is the most important thing. Like, you know, it's like a seam like you put in the ground, you need to put water and give water in order to have a huge strong plant like in the future.
Yeah, one of the best things for us to see in Melbourne is when we host, I mean, we haven't hosted an event for a while, but we will soon. But when we host an event and we see families coming in with young kids and they get to watch the Milan play, and it's just good to see that new young generation come up and watch, as you said. So yeah, it's nice. But Melbourne, I think, is ready to explode with Milan supporters. I mean, Liverpool, Tottenham, a lot of big clubs have come. Juventus came a few years ago. The Melbourne Cricket Ground, the MCG, was sold out for a Liverpool match against our local team of, I think, almost 100,000 people went to watch. So people want to see, they'll go and see it, and yeah, people will go. I don't think that's not the issue. We just need to bring Milan here. We need to, I don't know whether
I gonna send the message to AC Milan's management. Don't worry. After our talk,
please speak to Gazidis and let's sync it all up. If need be, I'll host Zlatan Ibrahimovic in my spare bedroom here, and we can all,
yeah,
all the fans in Melbourne could all host a player. That's the issue.
It's gonna be fun, dangerous but fun.
Yeah, exactly. I guess staying on kind of supporter clubs around the world, how important do you think the Milan supporter clubs are for the club? Because I was shocked, like it blew my mind when I was in Milan and I saw like all of the supporter clubs from around the world going to watch Milan games in Milan, that they would travel to see it. So how important do you think clubs like us are to Milan?
But I mean, I give a huge importance like to the clubs. As I always say on my social network, I love Milan, but I love AC Milan's fan as well, the same way, the same level, because we are the power of the powership this club, this faith, you know, because it's a faith. And as a faith, like you need the churches where you know, around the world to teach, you know, the word.
Yeah.
Like and I don't want to be blasphemic, but I mean, it's the same thing, you know. You need people, old people in the clubs around the world that teach to the kids, to the new generation, the values of the club, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that the clubs, they are not just a group of people that meets like into the club to watch the match and drink a beer, but most of the time they have like also they create some charity events. They're like a community. They stay together even when there is not a match. They share like happiness, but even problems.
Yeah.
Here in Italy, I travel and I visit a lot of many Milan clubs, and I see with my eyes like touching like stories of people, you know, that is been left behind from the life, but in the community, because of the red and black colors, under the red and black passion, they're gonna be motivated, you know. They're gonna feel included into a family, and that's the most important thing to consider. It's not just a claim. We are a family because, as you see right now, we didn't know each other. We are talking as friends, that we know each other like since so far. That's because there is a connection between Rossoneri's fan, and clubs are the most important value for the club. And even in the past, with the Chinese like property, or after that, I always try to underline that to the management of AC Milan, in order to let them understand that we are special. The clubs are important and special. They need to and they are doing, but they need to do better and better, like create ideas, opportunities to improve the knowledge of each other, like to understand the needs of the supporter, in order like to trust each other. And of course also to get the best, you know, as a revenue, like because if you feel into the family, you know, like we are crazy about that. You have the shirt with the logo, you have the scarf, you have the coffee cup with the logo of AC Milan. There is the new t-shirt, and you buy the new t-shirt online. You know, you're gonna buy more things if you get into the passion, if you're like immersed like into the AC Milan's world, if you feel included. So that's why I think that all the clubs, every clubs, they need like to take care about the fans everywhere they are, like because it's like the most important value. Without the fans, there is no soccer, there is no AC Milan, there is no like the huge salary that they get. There is nothing without us. And I always say I work in marketing, and the luck that the property of one team as AC Milan has is that in the other business you need to follow behind your customers.
Yeah.
You know, the soccer is the only one, like the only one business world where are the customers running after you.
Yeah.
So why don't take this and hug this customer, that hug these fans, and you know, share the best things together. That means also revenues for the clubs, and passion for us. So you satisfied to be into the AC Milan's world through the clubs, you feel like included, and of course you're gonna like feel to buy everything is red and black color for the rest of your life. This is the connection that we needed to create, we needed to improve, we needed to take care about it. Is the most important thing for us as a fans, and for AC Milan as a club that needs to take care also about the balance and the economical and financial balance.
Yeah. Can I ask, in terms of the club financials, I'm sure that you're probably one of the best people to ask about this. There's kind of a few reports that have come out recently over the last few months that even though the club's doing very well on field, that behind the scenes financially it may be not so good. And I know definitely a lot of fans are a bit nervous about this. Is there any truth to that, or is that kind of just all soccer clubs at the moment? What do you think?
But I mean, as you know, like the balance of AC Milan, like is being public every year. So the situation, even with the Berlusconi's management, was like basically with the average of less 90 millions per year, no? Each year. Like there were like always problem because business, the soccer business, for the way that is being approached, like in the past years, was not like a business to make money, but to be used from ownerships as a one way to show up and to put the face on the papers, the newspapers, you know, to improve their name. You know, if you consider that Berlusconi is being known all around the world because of the AC Milan's winning, you know, so is the best way to do advertising of yourself. So mostly of the ownership right now, like they don't have the family passion as Moratti, Berlusconi, whatever, or Mantovani for Sampdoria, or Franco Sensi for Roma in the 80s and whatever. It's not like a family that is owning a club because they were fans. No, this is a business, and the business needs like to improve the revenues and everything. So to do this process, to pass to a process with high costs, because the cost of the players has been always like high, and they are getting higher and higher. So you need to teach to the fans how to spend their money, you know, and improve. Because even for the gadgets or the things, till a few years ago, was not easy to buy things like buy online, you know. Now online business is a great opportunity. All around the world you can buy products and everything. Before it was not like that. So basically it was hard to get to the original product, you know, to give revenue straight to the club and everything. So it's been like hard to keep balance, you know, good. At the moment we have the ownership that is one of the biggest fund around the world. They own like 34 milliards of like investments all around the world. So that means that they know how to make the things balance. Of course, soccer is not like other companies. You cannot cut, because if you cut the good players, you don't get the pitch, you know, the pitch result, and that means that you lose the fans or whatever. You cannot open to the new fans because you cannot be attractive if you don't still have a passion. You need to create a passion before to to support the team also when it's not a good moment, you know. But you know, the new generation get too close to the team when the team is going well and makes you proud about that. So to do that, it's not easy. It needs step by step to be like fixed. I think that with the cost that we cut, because we have like salary roof that is very low, is getting lower compared to the other teams, compared to the past. With this step, improving the connection with the fan, improving the opportunities to do revenue, is gonna get better and better, and to be balanced and to be like in order like to go in front of UEFA's like a table and be fine and don't have any problem. But of course, coronavirus create a problem over a problem, and but this is for all of the clubs, and UEFA knows, and we need just to step forward, to do the step forward, and to hope that everything is going to finish soon and we can come back to our normality, because the soccer teams and the soccer world is like suffering a lot here in Europe.
Yeah. Sure. Do you think, well, I think it's interesting that, well, definitely a good thing, I think, that whilst the management, Elliott management, I mean, they don't have the love for Milan, obviously. That's not the reason why they took control of the club. But I think it's good that people like Maldini are at the club that have power. I mean, obviously Maldini, I think, obviously loves the club, and his soul, heart is with Milan and always will be. So I think in one way it's a good mix of like very business minded, trying to keep the club sustainable and everything, and then the other side of Maldini kind of having power and influence, actually loving the club and making sure that things are being run the right way. I think
yeah, this is a good point of view, and gives me the chance to clap to Maldini, because of course Maldini's name is something that makes you shake if you are a Rossonero fan, as much as Baresi or ever Franco Baresi. But of course, like, to be a manager is not the same thing to be a player, you know. So it was not like so immediate, like to say, okay, he's gonna be a great manager. And after years of mediocrity, like, we were like worried. I was worried, like that he was not in the right level, you know. So, but he surprised me, and I'm glad to say that I'm surprised. He surprised me, like, because he grew up like very fast. Yeah. After Leonardo experience, the short with Boban's experience, he got all the good like inputs from there, like from them, like, and as soon as he had the confirmation that they were not changing with Ragnick, but they were like stable, and they give to him like the keys to manage without any other step, because the bureaucracy sometimes is getting things slower, you know, and the market, the transfer market, sometimes has to be quick, you know. So as soon as he got like the information that he could be like part of this team, like for a big project, I saw him like do a great step, and everything changed. And even with the approach of the new transfer, even with the mood of the team, it makes it relaxed. And let me clap also to Gazidis, because Arsenal's fan, they were like talking bad about him, like because you know, when it's hard to put a manager, a cold South African like manager close to your passion, because you don't think, you don't trust that he's gonna be like of this passion, you know. So you see, like your father, when he's not giving you the tip, like to go with your friends to go to the cinema, or you know, he'll say, "Oh, come on, give me money. I need money." You know, give money, and your father say, "No, no, no, we cannot do that. You cannot spend that money." So it's always the bad side. You know, you look at it, you look at him like in a bad way. But as you said, like it's essential, like to keep everything in order. But I clap him because when he understood that he was getting the wrong way with the new revolution of Ragnick management, he changed mind.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to change mind to that level after that you work for months of a new project. That means that is open-minded.
Yeah.
So in the one side we have a smart manager. In the other side we have Paolo Maldini that is defending as much as he was defending the goalkeeper into the field. Is defending the values of the history of AC Milan.
Yeah,
and
right.
that's like a guarantee. Like, you know, we safe because he's into that building, and that's the most important thing, because I'm sure that he's gonna never like sign some like deal that makes bad to AC Milan. So that's the insurance like for us.
Yeah, sure. Do you think, speaking of Maldini, do you think because in one way he's acted very fast, like the Haga signing, even Mandzukic, I'm guessing that was kind of in process for a long time, but it came pretty quickly. Do you think that a few contracts will be signed soon?
But I mean, like the way that they work with the scouting team, Moncada, Amstad, Massara, it's like good, because we were like always like complaining in the past years, in the last past years, that we were like missing programmation, you know, of what the Milan has to be, and the players, or you buy the player because you want like a champion, and you need to go to with the millions one by one, and one over the other one, and buy the champions, like as much Real Madrid and Manchester United, Bayern Monaco were doing. Or if you need to keep the balance stable and everything, you need to discover like new players when the price is still low. To do that, you need to study them, to scan all the countries, to scan on the championships, like to scan all the teams and the young players of those teams. And it's a very hard work. You need to have a huge Excel and software that helps you out to keep everything under control. We have all of those. We have the experience and the eye of a champion as Maldini, that recognize in Theo Hernandez, for example, one powerful champion that Madrid, that they are not the last one about that. They are like good to understand who are the good players, but they miss it. Like they probably they were blinded, and in that way. So you need to be quick, as you said, like because it's a work that has to be made like undercover. I mean, we like the transfer talk. We like, because gives you like the vibe, you know, to permits us like to dream. But honestly, I prefer to have like problems to intercept like a news, you know. I prefer like it's always good like to have a news to share with the fans, to be cool. Oh, great, Alex, you found the blah blah blah. But the most important thing, and first of all, is the AC Milan, you know. So if it's hard for me to intercept like one transfer news, but after one good player arrives to AC Milan, even like with a deal that looks like to be done in the 24 hours, but is never like this. Because, for example, Mandzukic is like from December that they got in contact, you know. After step by step, they understood that Ibrahimovic probably needs like someone that's to have like a turnover, whatever. So things changed, and they make it deeper, and they close the contract. But never happens like it's a magician things, because to understand if it's a good player for your team, considering that that are like millions of euros or dollars or whatever, like that you need to spend a huge investment, you need to know and you need to study. And believe me that the scouting is like one of the hardest like part of this business. And we have a good group, we have a good team, and I'm positive about the future, because I'm very proud about this course, like this step of AC Milan, because I saw the AC Milan's fan be happy, not because we are first on the list, you know, but because we are playing well.
Yeah.
Because we have players that makes you proud of this, because they give all on into the pitch, you know. So doesn't matter that happens that you don't win, you know.
Yeah.
But AC Milan supporters are getting warmer and warmer, because the way that we play, because it's our DNA to play well, it's our DNA to be proud of our team, you know. We don't need the superstar. We need a player as Salma Kers. We need a player as Benacer. We need players as Tonali. We need player as that gives all for the, you know, for the skill. So that's the most important thing. And I think that we are on the good way, like to keep doing well.
Yeah, I agree that when you look at the scouting recently, players like Salamakers, even Kalulu, Olet Haga, all of these players that maybe aren't amazing yet, but they've been very important. Diaz for this season, even Calabria, he's been at the club for a little while. But these players that maybe many people in other clubs and supporters would think, they're not important players, they're little, tiny, insignificant, they'll never do anything. But really, without those players this season for Milan, we wouldn't be top of the table and winter champions. So, yeah, big question: Are we gonna, or how much longer are we going to see Gigio Donnarumma and Hakan Çalhanoğlu play in the red and black?
I mean, this is like a good question, because all the supporters, they're worried about the contract that is expiring. You know, they could be free like to sign with other teams and everything. But honestly, I give you like some information about that. We are close. We are getting closer, like to sign with the Çalhanoğlu, because the parts, like they get closer, like with amounts of the money. Of course, the situation of his contract and the quality of this the games that he had recently, like open the chance to him to have like a good transfer, because with the zero cost, Manchester United got, you know, information of Çalhanoğlu entourage, from Çalhanoğlu entourage, like about him. But basically the player wants to stay with us. The player wants to improve his salary, of course, because he deserves. But in the meantime, it's not like the right way. In the amount of the request, it was not like 7 million as mostly of you read like on the newspapers. Like was like around 5, and the proposal was 3, and between 3 and 5 there is a number that is called 4, and is, you know, the truth is always in the middle, and also the deal is always in the middle. when the parts want to stay together. And of course, I didn't like the approach of Stipic's manager, like the manager of Çalhanoğlu, because he wants like to be like a smaller Raiola, you know. But Raiola is a painful manager, but he's smart. He talks like in his particular way, but he knows what he does. And he knows when he needs to give up, you know, and to sign the contract. He knows that he cannot take Donnarumma to 0 to other club because there is a dealing, a promise between Donnarumma and his manager, because Donnarumma could never like leave AC Milan for 0, you know, never. Even the day that he's gonna give, he's gonna leave, he's not gonna leave for free, because he wants to be like thankful to the club.
Yeah. And
of course, he wants to stay here, so there is no problem about that. It's just that you need to pay the champions, and Donnarumma is more than a champion. He's like a prodigy. Like he's like someone that is part of AC Milan because he's a supporter. He was like from the young. So he has a history like close to our colors. He could write a good page of our story, like history. Like it's important, even in that kind of comeback to the real value that are more than the simply money, you know. So why there are a lot of kids, I receive a lot of kids picture with the goalkeepers like outfit. So in the past, I think that this happened once for the Inter's fan with Zenga, Walter Zenga.
Yep.
That was like an idol as a goalkeeper. But after that, I don't remember like a goalkeeper that influenced the kids and they push them to be in that role that usually when you go to the school and you are a loser, they send you like to be a goalkeeper. If you're not good to play, they say, let's go to be a goalkeeper, you know?
Be careful there, Alessandro, because I used to be a goalkeeper when I was younger.
Okay, but you know what I mean, you know, like when you know you're not good to play, your schoolmates, they say, go to be a goalkeeper. So for the kids, it's not considered like an important huge role. So the thing is that now a lot of kids, they have their outfit of a Donnarumma outfit is a sign that is changing, and this is so important even for to share like the AC Milan's name around the world, because
I think Gigio's, I think his heart is red and black. Come on, I can't in no dream in my wildest imagination could I see Gigio play for another team. It would be crazy. I couldn't.
Me too.
Yeah. The last big question I have, I think we could speak for 10 hours easily about all of these things, Alessandro. But the last big question I have for you is about the stadium. Are we going to stay at the San Siro, or are we going to see a new stadium soon?
But at the moment, about the new project, I can tell you a couple of things. First of all, you are talking to someone that loves the actual stadium as much as I love Duomo Church. Yes, in Milan. Is a symbol, like is more than a stadium, is more than a block of like cement. Like it's not like an object. It means like a lot. I always say like to managers, AC Milan's manager, that when I speak with you guys around the world, it's easier that you connect and you say which city is watching at the San Siro Stadium. It's easier more than to show you the castle of Milan. If I show you a picture of the castle, you think like 2 minutes before to understand which city is. If I show you San Siro's picture, you say Milan, 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 Italy, Milan, So anyway, as I said to you before, okay, everything, okay, the memories, okay, all the things that you keep in your heart forever, in your head, but most important thing is the future of AC Milan. And there is no future without new incoming, new revenues from the new stadium that could hack all the technologies that we talked before, that permits to have a digital approach, permits to have a better merchandising selling, to have a better circuit for the mice,
Yeah.
Because it's like when you go to the supermarket, your mom say, oh, go to take the sugar to the supermarket. You go to the supermarket to take the sugar, you come back that you have your cart full of things, bullshit things, because you are into the circuit, and everything is studied to make you spend money. So the stadium and all the sport city that they are building around, that they have with their project, is made to let you arrive to the center with your family, and to have the opportunity, the meantime that you watch the match, that your wife or your girlfriend is going to the mall. In the meantime, there is someone that take care about your kids if they are not in the stadium or whatever. There is all the supplies, the service to make you pass all the entire day over there, not just the 1 hour and a half for the match. So this is the most important thing, because more time the supporter pass into the stadium or whatever, into the stadium's area, more he has the chance to spend money, for the food, because you buy something, because you drink something, you watch a movie in the cinema, you go to the supermarket. I mean, you do everything around, and this bringing incoming to revenues to AC Milan. And the only one thing is we are in Italy. In Italy, there is political bullshit.
Yeah.
That makes the thing slower, all the time. We are not so quick because we are Italian in the good way, but even in the bad way. In the bad way means the bureaucracy, the interest of the political people that wants to sign important project or don't sign, to don't disturb other people, other influence people or whatever. So this is a pain in the ass, sorry for the word, but is always, slowing down the things. If you consider the coronavirus situation got the process slower, and if you consider also the new character that Inter ownership opened with closing the expenses and investments for the soccer, ordered by the Chinese government.
Yeah.
That is not a democracy. There is not democracy in China, as you know. And what the government say is an order. There is no way. It's not there is not the concept, the Occidental concept, the idea that we have about business. It's a private business. I follow the rules. I do whatever I want. I invest my money. Yeah. If I get rich, is my it's good. If I don't get, it's my fault. But the government in China decide a lot of things, even about the investment of the huge company as Sunning. So I don't know, and I hope that is not slowing down all the process, because both of the team, AC Milan and Inter, needs the new stadium and needs to have a bigger step in order to improve and to destroy like the gap that we have like still with the biggest team in Europe. There is like this huge gap that has to be cancelled, and we cannot do but the stadium. So without the stadium, it's impossible. So I hope that it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be soon, because we need 2 years, 3 years to build the stadium hub. So we need time, and but in the meantime, our brand, our history needs to keep winning, and so it's we need to hurry up about that. But I mean, I'm positive, because as I told you, we are in the good hands, and about big infrastructural investment, Elliot is one of the best. He knows what they do, and so I'm very positive about that.
I agree. I think the stadium problem at the moment, for me personally, I mean, and I think a lot of Milan and Inter fans would agree that it's a bit sad that maybe for the next generation they won't have that San Siro experience that I had and you had. That I know for me, definitely the first thing I knew that I found out about Milan was San Siro. It was the first kind of thing that I knew about the city, and in my opinion, when I think of big things in Europe, it's like the Colosseum, all of the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, and San Siro is up there for me, definitely. And I'll never forget the first time I saw it and the atmosphere. But as you said, it's very exciting what's to come. Hopefully, bigger and greater things. And as we've said, Milan fans, I think, will always be passionate and have that love for the club. So I think that atmosphere won't ever leave. I think even if it is in some really classic, like corporate stadium that's designed to kind of get money out of people, I think that the heart of Milan will stay around and follow the team wherever it goes. So yeah, but as I said before, I think we could talk for days longer about this, Alessandro. Maybe we need to have you on this podcast another time,
whenever you want. Feel free to call me whenever you want. It's a pleasure for me. It's an honor, like, because to be considered like so highly from you is my proud, and because as I said, like I'm lucky to be in this position in order like to be contacted from supporters. Means that I'm giving something to them, and that's what extremely what I want with all my project. I invest a lot of times. It's not my business. It's not taking like me advantage like in any way. If not like to have your passion, your hearts, your friendships, and the consideration that makes me feel proud of what I did, and I have a lot of projects going on, because I mean, you know, we can change a wife, we can change work, we can change sex, but we cannot change the passion for AC Milan.
That's very true. It's very true. Thank you. We really appreciate when Taylor said to me that we had there was the possibility of interviewing you, Alessandro. My eyes almost popped out of my head because it's very exciting. As I said before, you're kind of the guiding light for all of us AC Milan fans across the world, really, in what we can do and the possibilities to connect everyone together. So it's amazing that we have someone like you to kind of follow and we can read and find out about all the news from you. So yeah, we're very appreciative to have someone like you, let alone like interview you. So yeah, thank you very much again, Alessandro, for coming on. Hopefully you'll be on soon again. Hopefully the team next time we speak will still be on top of the table, and Gigio and Çalhanoğlu, as you said, will be playing with us still. So yeah, no, thank you very much, and hopefully it's soon.
Luke, don't worry about. I'm here for you. Just subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna try to do like more and more like English contents as well. The channel is Milanista Non Evoluto, but anyway, if you follow me, like you know that there is all the links about that. And I'm gonna even find a partner like to translate all my tweets in order like to have a good English writing like partner that helps you out like to get informed like from my news, like my updates like in your language, even if Google Translate like helps you out like to translate the tweets. But anyway, thank you for the invitation again, and I hope to hug you here in San Siro as well. And that means that this nightmare like is gonna be passed for all of us, because the most important thing is the health, and because we need to be ready to jump for the next victory of our team, because we are Rossoneri fan. We are proud of that, but we deserve also like to come back to our DNA, like that means to see the AC Milan win everywhere in Italy, in Europe, into the world, like and hopefully even in Australia, when I hope that they're gonna come to visit you as soon as possible, and I'm gonna come too. So it's gonna be me, you, the Kangoos, and the AC Milan.
Exactly. Well, I'll see you in Melbourne.
Okie dokie.
Okay, thank you very much, Alessandro.
Ciao, ciao.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're now going to move on with Shady, and we're going to review the two games, the Atalanta match. Obviously, we won't say much about that. Obviously, a poor performance from the team, so we won't, dwell on that for too long, I don't think. I think we all share the same thoughts on that match. But I guess moving on, we'll have a chat about the Inter match and then preview the upcoming Bologna League match. So starting with the the Inter match, the derby this morning it happened. What were your thoughts, Shady?
Yeah, again, I agree with you. I don't think we should really dwell on the Atalanta match. It was an awful performance. They were a good team. We just didn't show up on the day. So maybe I'll just talk about our performances in general after we recap the Inter game. But throughout January, I would say there's no shame in losing a derby. You're going to lose a derby every now and then. That's perfectly normal. That's what makes it such an intense game. But the manner in which we lost this game shows a bit of immaturity. A, immaturity, and B, the lack of, still, despite the fact that we've got a much better squad overall this season, but the relative lack of depth in our squad. Yeah. I mean, you could see the absences were clear for everyone to see. We didn't have any solutions at all in the second half. I mean, we were basically relying on Leao having like our best hope until Leao came off was for him to dribble past all the Inter players and score like one of the goals he scored against Fiorentina last year. But we didn't really have many ideas going forward. And you knew that once, no offense to him again, but you knew that once Samuel Castillejo came on, that was it. we were bereft of, we didn't have any ideas.
Yeah.
Going forward, we were man short as well, so very immature of Ibra. I mean, this guy is a leader, and one of the things he has to do is lead by example, and he's done that excellently, flawlessly almost since he joined last year. So it's normal that we're all humans, we all make mistakes. But to get sent off like that and to get worked up like that with Lukaku earlier, at this stage of the season where we're at a crossroads where we can either just like stay the course and go on to win the title, hopefully, fingers crossed, or, drop off, we need him to be at his coolest. And we know he can do it. We know he's a proven leader, a proven winner. So it was kind of disappointing to see that from him. And it was a pointless foul for that second yellow card, but it was obvious that his head just wasn't in it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I completely agree.
I thought we kind of threw the game away.
It was disappointing. I mean, especially considering that we've clearly missed him. I mean, the team survived without him, but the hole was clear. So now that he's back in the team and he's fit, it was very disappointing that he would do that and throw it away and miss half a match again, especially considering what happened when he came off. I don't want to talk too much about the whole exchange between Lukaku and him because it just doesn't look good for either of them, I don't think.
Exactly.
It was almost like I got the feel it was almost a bit of like a arrogant, we're top of the table kind of thing, which I get is kind of part of the whole Zlatan thing. But when you're the leader of a team, I'm not sure, if it's the right thing to do. And obviously the team kind of fell apart once he left. So yeah, I didn't like it, I don't think. And I think then going forward, I mean, the penalty wasn't, to me, it was a bit clumsy what happened. It's annoying, that one. And then, I mean, even the Eriksen free kick was a bit the same. Like, they were all preventable, those two goals.
Very silly mistakes.
Yeah, I completely agree. A disappointing match that realistically we were lucky in a way to be one up, because that second half we offered nothing, and from the second half we deserved to lose it. So we were lucky that we held on for so long in many ways. But I was watching that second half just waiting for it to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's what you hate to see. I mean, that's reminiscent of the past few seasons where you knew that we had this huge error in us. You knew that we had some kind of blunder in our defense. So we've been avoiding that all season. So It's just disappointing to see that obviously we're down to our last legs towards the end. You felt that, it was like Pioli didn't really have much of a choice. He had Hakan on the bench, so I thought he could have brought him on. But anyways, but he chose not to. I would have probably brought him on instead of Samuel.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not going to make Sam Castillejo the scapegoat for problems that run much deeper.
Yeah.
Look, trash talking is part of the game. I mean, and Ibra and Zapata had a bit of a run-in during the Atalanta game. So it's normal. It's part of the game. And you love to see a bit of grinta, but you don't want to see, like, the disrespect.
Yeah.
You don't want to see... You'd rather see that if we're leading and we're top of the league and all that kind of thing, all that jazz, you want it to be on the pitch. You want to speak with, score goals. So score more goals. Get that Capocannoniere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get us that Scudetto, and then we can talk. Yeah. But just, doing that stuff prematurely in the thick of, arguably a somewhat sticky spell, that's not the way to go.
Yeah. What I will say is, though, that I think with, there's a lot of blame being put on Miete after his performance. I don't think he's the right person to blame for the loss. I mean, realistically, we're not expecting him to be the same as Benacer coming in. He is what he is. We know we knew that he wasn't a big signing, and realistically, who was the alternative to come in for him? I mean,
maybe Calabria,
but don't blame him for our depth problems.
Especially it's like his second game with us. I don't think none of us thought we'd sign the world beater. I mean, when we signed him, he wasn't even like, he was sitting on the bench for Torino even for quite a few games. It's not like he was like a constant starter for Torino. So we knew he was going to come in as a squad player. He made mistakes. His performance was not good. I'm not saying that he performed well. He performed poorly. But let's not forget that, exactly, we brought him in for just that, as a squad player. Yes, his performances have to improve. I'm not disagreeing with that, but we need to give him a bit of time to gel with the team. That's A. B is, don't forget, I mean, how poorly Bakayoko started when he came in. I'm not comparing both players. I'm not saying that they're necessarily the same player. But when I'm just reminding people that when Bakayoko came in, he had a few stinkers. He was awful for the first few games. Then he started to gel in with the team, and he showed who he is, and he's an amazing player. And we all got to see that. So it may well be a similar scenario. I'm not sure. You can never tell. Maybe he'll go on to be something like that. Maybe he won't. But I mean, I think it's very premature to condemn this guy and just be like, he's at fault for the loss as a whole. He had a poor game. But
when you look at our squad right now, I mean, you go through Calabria, Kier as well, Kessie. Like, there are lots of players that didn't start off immediately as, starting 11 best players.
So many.
How can we expect him to be? Yeah. How can you expect anything more, really? So
exactly. Yeah, Tonali's been the same this season. Tonali's an amazing talent. We've all seen how good he is. I mean, he's an international. He's an Italian international. He's got such a great future ahead of him, and he hasn't he hasn't set the world alight with his performance. He's had some amazing visionary passes and through balls, but all in all, he hasn't shown it yet fully. And that's fine. I think most of us expect that this season, that we hope that he'll, show us his best form. But we expect that perhaps this season he'll take some time to gel in, and towards the end of this season, maybe next season, he'll really shine. So I'm not comparing the players, but I'm just saying that we have to be a bit more patient.
Yeah.
And I think for the large part, most people understand that. It was just a frustration, I think, a collective frustration at the way we lost this game.
Yeah.
It was almost like we threw it away. And when your squad's somewhat depleted, you should really do everything you can to hold on to a game like this. But the way we handled it, we kind of threw it away. It was obvious that we were, our best hope was obviously penalties after Ibra got sent. And after the second half started, Ibra got sent off. I think we were all looking at, okay, hopefully we can hold on, but if not, it's going to be penalties.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world. Yeah, not the end of the world. We move on. We're still top of the league. Looking at the glass half full, we've got one less distraction. So it's this in the Europa League. So let's bloody do it.
Exactly. That was, I mean, kind of obviously two games that didn't go exactly or at all as we would want, or at all as how we wanted. But as you said, I think it's definitely time to move on. If you look at it, as you said, glass half full, top of the league, and I mean, really, not in a comfortable position, but we're 2 points up on Inter. We got Bologna, who aren't world beaters at all this season. I mean, don't underrate them, but they're bottom half of the table. I guess as we always do, look on, and what are your thoughts on the Bologna upcoming match?
I want to see a reaction. We've spoken. We said this. I think the two of us said this 2-3 weeks ago before the Juventus game, even, that the acid test is when we were still unbeaten. So it was definitely before the Juventus game. We were saying, hopefully we remain unbeaten. But if that's not the case, the acid test of any team of champions is how they react to these losses. So that's 3 games we've lost in January, the Juve game and then Atalanta and Inter. I really want to see a reaction. I really want to go into, get a good streak of wins and go into the next derby against Inter next month. They can have the cup, but we need to win this next derby in the league. And then just keep going, keep on thrashing out those wins until the end of the league. I want to see a reaction from this team. I want to see that this team is hungry. I want to see that this team really wants it.
Yeah.
So I'd hope that's how they approach it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Completely agree that we just need to go out and throw everything at Bologna this weekend. I mean, I personally have a bit of a soft spot for Bologna, but this game I don't care. I want to see us win 6-0 if that's what it takes. I mean, this team needs to switch back into action and really show us that they are a team of champions. I mean, we've believed that. We've believed the story this far into the season, and it's kind of time for them to prove it once more. They've done it a few times already where they've proved it. They need to do it again and step up to the plate again, I think, definitely.
100%. We're behind this team no matter what, but we want to see them at their best. We always want to see them at their best. So here's hoping. I thought Tomori looked good when he came on.
Yeah.
Too early to say, but he looked like, he had the making of a good defender.
Yeah.
He seemed okay. So we'll see. I wonder if he'll get more playing time because I think Gabbia is still not 100%.
Yeah.
So, and Kier is obviously struggling. He's been struggling for a while now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I thought he was good.
Yeah.
And I believe that Ibra's we were talking about this before we started the video. That Ibra's red card's not going to carry on to Serie A, so he should be available for the Bologna game. So I would expect him to really. I know he apologized to the team after the game, which is good, which is what you'd expect from a leader. And I hope he really replies on the pitch. I really want him to do
it. Yeah, I agree. I'm not even really thinking too much about the Bologna plays this week. I wouldn't care if it was Barcelona or Real Madrid or whoever we were playing. I just want to see a reaction.
Exactly.
So anyway, predictions, I guess. I said 6-0, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit far-fetched. I'd love it. I mean, I would. I'd be the first to admit that. Yeah, that would be amazing. But yeah, I think 3-1's more realistic for me. Hopefully, 3-1.
For me, I want to see a clean sheet, and
that would be lovely.
Be a good 2-0. I want a solid win where they don't really ask too many questions of us, and I just want to get back into that routine. I think maybe that's me being a bit selfish this season. Not selfish, but a bit
spot on.
But I think we need to have high expectations from this team.
Definitely, this team's spoiled us, I guess, with this past year. Yeah. So we have these high expectations, I guess, and ambitions, and let's hope they can achieve them. I mean, let's hope they can realize these. We want that Scudetto, definitely.
Yeah.
So here's what
we really do, or at least we want to just annoy the other clubs for as long as we possibly can.
Yeah, do our best. I mean, I would reflect if we were to not win it and we still end up in a Champions League place, I'd be all right. But I feel that this season is a transitional season for Juventus, so that's always a good chance. I always think of you. I don't know when it comes to. It always seems like when we talk that Juventus are like my bogeyman, but when it comes to Serie A, I always think of Juventus, and then as I've explained before, for a few reasons on and off the pitch, and then I think of all the other teams. So I think this is because of that. I think it's a very good chance for us. So we'll see. We'll see. Here's up. As long as they give it their best, we're always going to be behind the team anyway. So yeah. Hopefully they can pull it off this season.
I guess before we wrap up this video, just a few quick announcements, I guess. The big one is that we're back with live events finally. The Sampdoria match. So check it out. The Facebook event's just been created. Get down if you're in Melbourne, obviously. We're pumped. New venue, Miss Frankie's. It's been a long time in the making. I've been thinking about this event for probably too long, really. So I can't wait to see everyone again. It'll be really just nice to see everyone, all the faces again at the club. If you haven't come to an event,
Sorry for interrupting you. Let's remind everyone when is that again? Is that the start of April?
Yes.
Was it the 3rd of April, I believe? So people have got plenty of time to get ready for this. We really look forward to welcoming everybody for this.
Yeah. Exciting.
Sorry, what were you saying there?
Yeah, well, I was just saying, there'll be, obviously new venue, raffles, it's all happening. So check it out. Exciting times, I guess. The new shirts, the pre-order hasn't happened yet, so check out the website for that as well. Yeah, very exciting time for the club, so check it all out, please.
Yeah, definitely. Those shirts are amazing. Those designs.
They really are.
Next level. Love them.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for this week.
Yeah.
As always, hopefully a return to winning ways for the club.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah. As always, speak to you next week, Shady, but Forza Milan.
Look forward to it, mate. Forza Milan. Thanks.
Go.